I'll never forget having the most amazing dream, and I can recall it to this day. I was up on this beautiful balcony of this beautiful castle, and it was all I can explain is like magical music playing in the background. And I ran and jumped out the window into this beautiful bay of water. It must have been like heaven, like literally, I was dreaming of heaven. And all of a sudden, that dream jolted awake by the sound of a friggin' cell door slamming. And right away, that sickness comes back. As soon as you're conscious and you realize that you're still locked up and in jail, and then you instantly realize that you're still going through withdrawals, it's horrible. It just doesn't get any easier at all. But I use that as a little light at the end of the tunnel because that was my first real deep RM sleep that I had gotten in probably 10 or 11 days in a row. I was just violently nodding in and out of consciousness and misery. And in the meantime, you still have to stay on guard and protect yourself. And you still have to interact with these inmates as they're coming to check your paperwork and see what your story is because everybody wants to know why you're there, especially me, like I said, being young and white. They wanted to know what, if I was just what my deal was. They're used to seeing, you know, the white kids from New Hampshire just being straight up customers or just users, and you don't normally go to prison for just possession charges, and that I was selling it. So that's why I was in prison. So now I have to deal with all these people too while I'm detoxing. And like I said, we're good 9, 10 days into this, and I just got my first bit of sleep and I got to enjoy that beautiful dream and I love it. But as soon as that doors started shutting and the friggin' guards and the COs are pounding on doors and there's so much people are yelling, it sucks, man. The depression can hit you right away. I mean, I was just speaking on part one about the mental and the emotions is crazy. And if if I wasn't able to just take a deep breath and learn how to kind of meditate by my own, I don't know if I would have survived that because it was horrible. And just the emotions and the whirlwind, and then the depression, being locked up and feeling like complete dog shit. It was horrible. And that's where a lot of people have bad thoughts and have, scary thoughts. And it's dangerous because they don't offer the right services once you're in that situation. They treat you just like an animal. You're a convict. It doesn't matter. Like you're all set. They have no sympathy. And a lot of inmates don't have sympathy either. You can't be walking around smelling bad and you can't be, even if you do have an upset stomach, dude, you can't be farting stuff around. Like, it's not a cool place to be detoxing at all. It's scary. And that was my experience. And I knew I had to do it. And that held a key part in me still being able to be sober. And this July will be 9 years straight off of opiates. That's incredible. I'm blessed. But if it wasn't because of how hard and how scary my detox was, it wouldn't be like that, I feel. A lot of my friends and people that I did business with back then, fighting the same addiction that I was fighting, and they will go to rehabs, multiple opportunities, get clean, get on, maybe Suboxone or methadone, and still relapse and go back. This might be controversial, and I know it works for some people, but for me, the reason why I never relapsed was because it was so hard and shitty. I feel like if I just went to a rehab and got on Suboxone, the relapse is easy because the temptation is always going to be there. Unfortunately, the whole country is still going through this drug epidemic. It doesn't just go away. So when I came home, even though I'm clean, I'm not going through withdrawals. I still have to deal with that temptation on a daily basis. And for me, it was easy to where a lot of people, I could see that temptation obviously gets to them. Just the simple fact that they think they could use once or twice, and even if it does get out of control, they can just go check themselves into a rehab and start the process over. And I have to agree with that. It's never too late. Even if you do slip up, there's slip ups happen. You can always restart. Day one is day one. As long as you keep trying and doing that, eventually you will succeed. But you're playing with fire. Now you're playing Russian roulette. You're dealing with fentanyl. It's a poison. It's not a party drug. I believe it's a drug of war. It's a poison and that we were attacked. It's my personal beliefs. It's a whole separate story I don't want to get into. I'm sharing this as a story of success and misery at the same time. And I'm hoping that if you're watching this and you're going through it, if you watched part one and you can relate to the fun or the temptations of the money that I was speaking on, I'm sure you can relate to that. And I know everybody that's going through this addiction didn't just do it to be miserable. That all started as having fun. I know that. For me, it started with the pills. I'd like to hear what you guys, your story matters to me. And if my story can help or if you can relate at all, it means the world to me. That's what I'm doing this for. So at the end of the day, yeah, I'm 9 years straight with no opiates, and that's amazing. But I am no better and I am no more knowledgeable than the next guy that's still struggling and has slip ups. I'm just here saying what's worked for me and my beliefs on why it worked. I'm not here saying that Suboxone doesn't work or regular rehab doesn't work. I'm just saying that this is my story. And that's how I survived. And I strongly believe that if I would have picked up where I left off, and I had opportunities to, I could have called people as soon as I came out and been set up. That's how the game works. I did my time. I did it the right way. I kept my mouth shut. I didn't owe anybody nothing. When I came home, if I wanted to be in that position, I could have. It was just a phone call away. I'd never gonna happen. But other people, if you're in that situation, times are tight. That's temptation. That's the devil again jumping on your back, trying to reel you in. And if you have friends that are even encouraging that, I strongly advise you to just isolate yourself from anybody that's trying to push in that direction. In my experience, I've had plenty of people try to throw crazy deals my way. It's just because at the end of the day, it'll benefit them. It's going to benefit them at the end of the day, and it's going to drag me down into the depths of the hell that I already crawled out of. It's not happening. Easier said than done, and it's even harder having to watch your friends or the people that you care for the most going through it. That's scary because you can only show tough love so much and you have to be there and support them or else things could very easily go bad for them. I strongly believe in having a good support system, having people you can talk to matters. People might not realize how much it matters. Believe me, from the heart, it matters a lot. And if you can just have that one person that you trust and you can sit there and relay your deepest secrets or your biggest fears to, and they're not going to judge you, and then that helps. Because if I can say personally, the hardest times for me is when I can't get things off my chest. I need to be able to air stuff out if I feel some type of way. If not, it builds in me like this anger is like a tumor. It's like a cancerous tumor. And you can't let that happen because next thing you know, you're taking out your anger on the people that have been there to support you through this. And that's just all, whether it's trauma, PTSD from stuff, a lot of it revolves around recovery. And it hasn't been spoken about enough in my book. People always just relate it to that you're being immature or you haven't fully grown up. 9 years is a long time, but I still have plenty of days and plenty of times to where I get snappy. I never think about using, but I get irritable and sick of people. And it's like my trauma and my past hate that I've built up can be released easily if I'm not careful. So having somebody to support you is very important, just to sit there and listen. because that will help you not want to just say, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to make the phone call and I'm just going to party tonight. Because a bad apple fact, and a little birdie once told me, it never works like that. And that's fucking true. It never works like that. You're not just going to be able to party once and put it down. You set yourself back way more than it's ever going to be worth. And think about it. You have plans for tomorrow, dude? Do you have plans for tomorrow, miss? You must have some sort of plans. What's if you don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring? Great things could happen tomorrow. But if you mess around, and why would you put that in jeopardy over nothing? So just think about that. And you have to stay true to yourself while doing it. It's so easily said than done. I could sit here and I could talk into this microphone, and I know people can relate, but that pain and that struggle, I want you to know I internally feel it for you. I feel it. I've been there. I see it. When I see it, it reminds me. Certain smells get me. I know what you guys are going through. So, that being said, thank you so much for sitting down with me. This is part two. I'm 9 years. July 17th of this year, 2026, I'll be 9 years straight. I'm extremely blessed. I have a lot of good things going for me, and I just can't tell you how worth it was. That pain, that suffering, worth it. My dude, it was so worth it. Please, please stay safe out there this summer, and please reach out if you need some support. My name is Michael Anderson. This is the Bad Apple Fact Podcast. 603 tuning in, 603 tuning out. Peace.